Continuing on with our tutorial series on using the e-learning website, where I got up to last time was I'd just taken a few headings based notes of the content that I had been reading. So let's assume now that I'd actually have information here, notes that I've taken. It's a really good idea to take notes rather than just read, because the learning experience is actually a very tactile thing. You only learn a certain amount by just reading or looking. When you actually then write information down, or in this instance type information down, that helps embed that information a bit more in your head. It's sort of why you can read a novel and then read it again in 6 months' time and still enjoy it so much, because you actually forget so much. Whereas if you actually took notes when you read it, you would have actually remembered a lot more that second time around. So anyhow, really important that you do take your own notes based on your reading. So what I can do now, on that assumption that I've taken notes, is if I go back to my website, so I've completed all my section 1 reading, all 31 pages of it, whatever was held in there. And now I'm going to have a look at section 1 activities. So I don't go ahead with section 2 reading or section 3. That's too much additional new information. I'll just deal with what's in section 1. So I go to section 1 activities. Now, so this is what it looks like when you're doing your assessments. There are a few different types of assessments. There will be some assessments such as this one here in activity 1, where you're given a question and you're expected to respond to that question by typing up information in a Word document. Now I can let you know that when you have this sort of activity here and you need to upload your completed answer, that your completed answer will be multiple pages, or should be multiple pages in length. If you are expected to provide just a short answer, it'll be this style of activity here, where you can just type a few paragraphs of information as your answer, and that would be adequate. But I can almost guarantee you, every time you see an option to browse and upload your typed up answer should be multiple pages in length. So going back to my note taking, what I've done here, just for the purposes of looking at things, is I've written down the question. So it said, develop and document on behalf of an organization for which you do work or might work a detailed process whereby it is possible to investigate, identify, assess, and include the needs of customers in the planning process. Now, straight up, let's just say, if you haven't done your reading at this stage, that will be a very difficult question and won't make any sense to you. So don't panic that you've got no idea what the answer to that is. You will once you do your reading and your note taking. So what I've done by typing the question out, so there's the question there, by me typing it out, it's allowed me to highlight and bold certain areas that I think are very important for that question. So I need a detailed process. That's a big warning to me that this should be multi-page answer. And here were the things that my process is going to show. It's going to show my understanding of how to investigate, identify, assess, and include the needs of customers in the planning process. So with your answer that you're going to provide for this, when you type it up in your Word document, I expect, and your trainer will expect, your answer to be very business-like. So there's a great opportunity that this will actually be a report that I would theoretically hand up to the other people I work with in the business. So rather than just giving a typical student answer, for this one here, it would be great to actually write this back as the actual business report itself. So a couple things to know there. It should use very formal language, professionally formatted, and very articulate answer. Make sure that you're running spell check on it. This is diploma level work. Now your answer might include graphics as well as the text that you're typing. It depends on what the question is that you're dealing with. So there's a good guess or good chance that this particular one could be 3 to 5 pages of information. So that gives you a bit of an idea where to start with. Our next video will then look in more detail how I've broken this down further. So we'll deal with that in the next video, and then we'll be just about done with this particular unit in describing this question of the unit anyhow. So we'll come back to that in the next video.